feeling tired and worn down is just part of life for many of us, but it does not have to be. Dr. Jenny Wilkins from Age Vital Pharmacy is here to help put some pep back in our step. Pep in our step.
Pep in our step.
And appropriately dressed as Wonder Woman, because you are Wonder Woman to have to get through jobs and kids and extracurriculars and the gym and everything we all try to do in a day. And as Linda said, we get tired.
Yeah.
So
about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I start to drag.
Oh yeah, and then
Me
you're
too.
dragging at 8 o'clock at night too, and you're trying to bathe the kids. You know,
Right,
It's like,
exactly. So what
more
are
energy.
things? What are things that our bodies could be missing that are zapping our energy?
My favorite, Wonder Woman's favorite, is my Amino Pro. Okay, my Amino Pro, it's loaded with all the essential amino acids and the non-essential amino acids and the conditionally essential amino acids.
So we're missing amino acids. Is the reason we
and
could
this
be
is all
tired.
stuff you can test for. So you can test through blood, through urine. You can come into our store. I'm giving out free microscopies for the month of November.
What is that?
So it's a blood spot analysis.
Okay.
So what we do is we look at your blood, live dry blood cells and active live blood dry cells up on the screen, so you get to see exactly what we're looking for as far as nutritional deficiencies. So you can see, you know, when you're deficient in things for energy, it's huge. Dehydration, you can see parasites, you can see fungus, you can see. Yeah, a lot of people get shocked. That's why I do it for free. It's something that normally would cost somebody at $500, and I do it free in my store now. Yep, so I have a microscope technician. Yeah, so if anybody's deficient in something, they come in and be like, well, let's look at your blood really quick. And then you can see for yourself what is lacking in your blood.
And which you need to
Because
add.
it might not just be sleep. I mean, there's times where I know we all get a good night of sleep, but you still are dragging. So maybe
when
it's
you're
something
out
inside
partying
us.
for Halloween, you know, that takes a toll on your adrenals. That messes with your sleep cycle. So you need something other than coffee that, you know.
Which we do try. Okay, so you mentioned
move to the
amino
next
acids.
product.
What else do
So
you mention?
CardioFit, so cardiovascular energy, so vitamin D with vitamin K2 really helping that vitamin D to absorb. So if vitamin D is not coupled with the K2, it doesn't do any good. You actually don't absorb it, you just, it comes out in your urine. And then I have my Neuro Complex. My Neuro Complex is loaded with mega doses of vitamin B12 and mega doses of folate. Folate is the natural form of folic acid. So if you see supplements that say folic acid, don't take it, it's a poison. It's a genetically modified version of folate. And a lot of people don't realize that not all vitamins are created equal. So you want to take something that you test for that's actually in your system, and then you're replenishing it. So vitamin B12 and folate is great for neurological energy and cellular energy.
And these are the things that are all showing up in the testing.
In the testing,
when
yeah.
you do
Whether
that.
it's through that finger prick or whether you're doing it for, you know, a 24-hour urine analysis or a blood analysis. So it's just simple. If someone doesn't have insurance to, you know, to be able to afford one of those really comprehensive urine, blood, you know, plasma analysis, then the microscopy is like, well, you know what? And this
At least
is fun.
you can take a
at least you can take
Yeah.
a peek. They get to play scientist too.
So when you talk about some of
it's
these,
immediate.
when you talk about some of these products and the vitamins, you mentioned earlier that it's something that we already make, like for instance with the folic thing.
Yep,
That
the folate.
most of these things that you're mentioning are things that our body always produce or normally should produce, and we're just not having it or something?
Right, well, you're supposed to be deriving this stuff from our foods, but our foods are genetically modified. So when you're talking about 88% of our crops being from GMOs, that's horrifying. Okay, that means that there's no nutritional value because the nutrients are no longer naturally occurring in there because they modified the actual organisms from it. So if you're removing it, then you know there's an epidemic of people that are just exhausted all the time. They're tired. They're crashing at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're waking up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning because the body.
And you have one more
Let's talk about our final product.
So that's my Mito CoQ10. So CoQ10 is an antioxidant, but what it does is it feeds oxygen to your cells through the mitochondria. The mitochondria is kind of like a sluggish, you know, foreign. It's almost like a parasite that belongs in our body. It's completely foreign. It has its own DNA and RNA. It's completely separate from everything else, but it needs CoQ10 to feed it. And then that mitochondria takes large amounts of oxygen and it feeds your muscles, it feeds your brain. Kind of think of that almost like gasoline for your car, you know?
And these are all things that we're not getting in the ways that we should.
Exactly.
So therefore we can add them naturally.
Exactly. Or you're being depleted because you're drinking coffee, you're drinking too much wine, you're drinking too much beer. So then substitute. You know, it's like, I'm going to drink a lot of beer tonight, so I'm going to take my vitamins to replenish and rejuvenate.
Good idea.
All right, that sounds
Yep.
good. Well, you can visit Wonder Woman here, Dr. Jenny at Age Vital Pharmacy at Main and Osprey in downtown Sarasota. Lots of great information there. And I like the finger prick to take a peek inside what our body needs for the month of November.
Yep.
So thank you. Thank you for doing that. All right, well, men actually can get a little extra sleep this month. We'll talk about why coming up. Stay with us.